かわして、掴んだ、今度は掴んだ。お、しかし、
This is アメリカと。
さすがアメリカ人、欧米人。物が違うとはこのことですね。
逆にディーノ選手の指の関節が決められてますね。
工藤選手もディーノ選手。
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, yesterday, it was a very strange day in the markets. Now, Bitcoin had this huge sell-off leading into the weekend. Stocks really didn't do anything, right? Then we had the S&P opening yesterday morning. The S&P stocks started dumping. Bitcoin essentially just went sideways. We did touch down here at around 20,800, but I said in yesterday's video, I was very, very neutral on the current price action for Bitcoin. It was looking like we could go either way. Now today, it appears as if we're attempting to put in a bit of a double bottom. So we need to talk about whether or not we could actually have the tables flipping for Bitcoin. We are actually noticing, in fact, also that the DXY is getting rejected at this parabolic trend. It didn't even hit it, right? So is that the final double top movement for the DXY? Are we looking for that reversal? And are Bitcoin and stocks finally starting to decouple? Or is Bitcoin just actually now becoming the leading indicator as to what we should expect for stocks? Crazy times, guys. This could be the markets evolving in front of our eyes. I want to go over exactly what I'm looking at. And I also want to give you guys a reminder that this is the last Friday of the year, not of the year, of the month. And we know at the end of every month, we do have options expiry, right? But we also have another big event happening this Friday as well. So I do want to offer a bit of caution leading forward into that, but let's talk about whether or not things have changed since yesterday. Are we looking more bullish? Is it looking bearish? Or is it just another neutral day? And we're also going to talk about where we could be trading this right now. Lots of opportunities, guys. So if you haven't gotten subscribed, you know what to do. Let's hop in. Let's have a look at the charts. Now, this is absolutely crazy. So we came down here and we retested this area, the $20,738 level, and we literally barely just wicked above it. Nobody should have gotten stomped out of their positions. Go back, play the video from yesterday, play the video from the day before, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. This is actually showing us that the bulls are stepping in. They are defending these levels. So right here, where we actually fell out of it, I mean, look at this, guys. We literally had the low over here. This is on KuCoin, but all of them are basically around this area, 20,761, missing our low by about $20, which is good, which means nobody got stopped out. And look at this. We are back inside this upward sloping channel. So basically, this right here, so far, was really just a fake out, because now we are inside of this trend and we are still continuing upwards on the trend. We haven't lost this right here, and we're still putting in a higher low. If you want to have a little bit more complicated view at it, what really happened, right? And it's still a parallel upwards trend. We're still in this giant trend, but what happened was once we started putting this in, we had that rising wedge. We knew that rising wedges were, they are bearish, right? So we expected a pullback. I warned you guys about that, and now we found support exactly at this level. So as long as Bitcoin stays inside of this, and I know it's scary sitting right at the bottom, right? That's always the scariest, but it's also the best opportunity if you're looking to long, right? Now keep in mind, I haven't changed anything about my $20,738 level. That is still the cutoff if we dip below that, but as of right now, we are sitting perfectly above this level, and what you'd want to do, if you're still in your trade, you guys know what to do, but ultimately this is the area, $21,625, right? That's where we keep getting stopped out right here. If we break through with confirmation, then I do think we're easily going back to 22,000. In fact, I think more likely we're going to 22,500, which is this area right here. That's the next area to really get through, obviously. And then, of course, after that, back to the $24,000 area. So reclaim 21,625, confirm it. I think that is an easy trade back to 22.5. And, from that point, if you played exactly at the breakout, that's a 4% move. You use 3 X or something, you can get a nice little 12% kickback on that, right? And by the way, if you guys do want to learn how to trade, make sure you check out the tutorial popping up above. Special $6,888 bonus on BitGet specifically. But if you want to use another exchange, there's 15 grand in bonuses below. Check that out. It takes like 30 seconds to sign up. Highly recommend it, guys. So I want to sort of break this down. This is sort of like the inception of inception of Bitcoin, right? So we just have these wedges inside of wedges inside of wedges. Now, the thing I want to point out is that, so we have this wedge right here, right? This purple wedge. Now, a falling wedge is inherently bullish. It usually breaks out to the upside, right? Well, look what happened. We did break out, but we had resistance of the, obviously a macro trend always overtakes a smaller trend, but that's what we got here. Then we were inside of this rising wedge, right? See this yellow one? And we knew that rising wedges are bearish. So we fell back down. But here's the interesting thing, and I didn't even notice this. That's why I wanted to bring it out today. Look at where we actually got a little bit of support right here, guys. So this was the falling wedge inside of the other wedge, the inception of wedges, right? And then look at this. Perfect area of support. And if you want to see something crazy, and I know someone in the comments like, well, you can draw lines all over the place so you can just get whatever answer you're looking for. Okay, sure. But I just want to show you confluence. I like to see the confluence of these moves, even if you were potentially to take this, right, and drag this up. Let's assume that we're not going to go off the wicks. We're going to go off the solid candle closes right here, right? So we got this solid candle right there. This wick, okay, so 2 wicks and a solid close. Look at this, guys. That basically means that we have found ourselves on 2 legacy trend lines potentially acting as the support right now. And if we are, which we are still in this gigantic falling wedge, this huge falling wedge that's been happening essentially since January of 2021, then this tells me once we get above this heart line and we break this, main trend down here, which is in my opinion, the ultimate deciding factor of whether or not we're bull or bear, I think this is going to be absolutely explosive. It's just a matter of when we get to that point. Because as of right now, we are still in a very, very obvious bear trend, a very obvious downtrend on the macro. And until that's broken, essentially until this trend right here breaks, and it depends on when we break it. The longer it takes for us to break it, the lower the price target is, right? Because the longer it takes, the lower that sloping trend gets. So the thing that I am keeping my eye on, of course, is the fact that we are still now, again, below the 200 weekly. So we need to close back above 23,120 in order for us to do that. And again, talking about what stocks are doing, the S&P did fall actually below this support. It attempted to break above it this morning, fell back below it. So still kind of an iffy day, for stocks. We have to see what happens with that. But currently, Bitcoin actually right now is looking a little bit better than the stocks. Just saying, which is really weird because usually you would think Bitcoin would be getting hit harder, okay? It's not like it doesn't look tremendously better, but we're sitting above the support, whereas the S&P has fallen below it. So, but anything could change, guys. We could have a big fake out candle to the upside. This is just what I'm seeing at this time. But how crazy is it? Yesterday, I was talking about something we had never seen before. We had never seen the DXY act the way that it was acting while Bitcoin was flashing the types of signals that it was flashing at the same time. And if that is the case, then is this a true double top? Because look at this. Look at exactly where this stopped. Right at the this parabolic trend, the parabola. So I don't know if this is the end. I mean, we thought it was ending here. We thought this was the end, right? And it just continued up. So the dollar has been on a run, and the trend is your friend until the end. And unfortunately, the dollar is still trending upwards. But all things come to an end, and we'll see what happens with that, right? Like I said, guys, do be careful though. Options expiring on Friday sometimes. You see these random sell-offs just into the weekends at the end of the week, right? And I know what you're saying, well, this isn't the end of the month. No, it's not the end of the month, but there is no Friday of this month anymore, right? Because Friday, after this Friday, we're going to be in September, right? So just pointing that out. Now, the good news, if we have a look over here, on the overall crypto cap, we are still holding above this, and I talked about the 200 weekly, and I talked about how there was a possibility of a giant double bottom being put in. So really nothing too crazy about that. We're still holding above this trend, and we do still have the MACD, right, crossing into the green. So that is good over on that chart, and we have had our minor capitulation flash, obviously not officially until the week is over, but you can see if I just go down to the lower time frames, we did confirm that is there. We did get the blue dot on the miners, and we also got the green dot on the market cipher, which we know that pretty much has called all the macro bottoms for the weeklies, right? So that is that, guys. And I just wanted to also just mention that, of course, we had the RSI crossing above that 40, which has also marked the bottoms as well, interestingly enough. But this is what we need to pay attention to. So It's a little bit more macro, like in the sense where we do need to pay attention. Like for example, when we were in 2017 having the crazy bull run, and even when we had, the COVID stimulus going on, there wasn't really too much we had to pay attention to. Everyone was kind of everybody had money, everything was going up. The Fed wasn't really being crazy about things. Well, now we do need to pay attention to these numbers, the data, things that are affecting traditional investors, right? If you make money more expensive to borrow, you're inherently discouraging investment, right? That's just how it works. So Arcane Research points out that hodlers have been moving their precious Bitcoin out of exchanges like never before following this summer's collapse of major crypto lenders. These events undoubtedly damage the lenders' trustworthiness, but are holders also losing trust in exchanges? So is this because they are taking it off? Because usually when you see Bitcoin getting taken off the exchange at high volume, then you say to yourself, oh, well, if you're taking it off the exchange, then you're not looking to sell it, so this is a good thing. This means that hodlers are confident at these levels and they're accumulating, but also, like Arcane Research points out, maybe it's just because they're scared, right? So maybe it's not necessarily because they want to, maybe it's just because they're scared. But in all reality, guys, if you're not trading on an exchange, you should definitely take your coins off the exchange, right? But what about Friday? What's this big thing happening? Well, outside of options expiry, like TED Talks Macro also pointed out, is we have the US PCE data that's due, personal consumption expenditure, right? He says it's the most important data point to determine Fed action going forward. Remember, they're not meeting again until September, so we have a lot of data to digest up until that point. Consensus is that PCE peaked in June and that Friday's data will confirm this. If it's true, it's significantly bullish for risk assets like Bitcoin and equities, right? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some type of signal that the Fed can look and say to themselves, okay, I think what we've been doing is working. Maybe we don't need to stay as aggressive as we've been. Now, as of the minutes that came out with the last meeting, the way that I took it was that they are backing down a bit. But really, if you read the words, they're still aggressive. They're still being aggressive, but from the wording of the way it was worded, felt that they were not as aggressive. Although I still do think there is a chance of a 75 basis point raise come September. But, a lot of people are expecting that. So if we get the 75 basis points in September, it might just allow the markets to continue to coast sideways. I think if we get a 50, well, that's when we could really, really, really see some fireworks. So what else we got here, guys? A little bit of news for you. The Sims creator, Will Wright, has raised $6 million for blockchain games. It says famed game designer Will Wright said he learned a lot about blockchain while working on Voxverse, the upcoming NFT-powered metaverse offering. Wright hopes NFTs and artificial intelligence can keep players at the center of his new mobile game proxy. And, this is the thing that you have to sort of pay attention to is, whenever you have good news in bear markets, it doesn't really do anything, right? And whenever you have bad news in bull markets, it doesn't really do anything, right? Bad news in bear markets, though, obviously can crash the price. But what's going on now in the background is you're seeing these builders continue to create and expand, right? They're working on metaverse projects. They're working on NFT projects. They're working on DeFi projects. I mean, even what's happening with the Ethereum merge. They're working on bringing, Ethereum into the proof of stake world. Hopefully, eventually, they're going to be able to get those gas fees down and transactions up through sharding and all these other things. So this is what you need to pay attention to, not the doom and gloom apocalypse stuff that everybody talks about. And you know what? It's good. Let the system flush it out. Let the speculators go. All the meme coins and, I don't mean to be disrespectful to people that, trade meme coins. Yeah, you can make money. But, once you get all these speculators in and it turns into meme stocks and meme coins and, people are just throwing darts, again, that's when we need to wash it out and we need to get back to the basics, get back to the actual cryptos, the actual projects that have real fundamentals, and it's not just pickles, yams, and doggy coins, right? So that to me is a good sign. It's good to see that you still have building and stuff like this going on in the background. And again, friendly reminder, if you guys want to take advantage of those bonuses, I do recommend, though, that you definitely check out the tutorial if you want to learn. It's over 43 minutes long, guys. No, it's almost 43 minutes long, and it's, I think, the best one on the internet. I haven't seen one better than this. So if you do want to learn how to trade on BitGet, I do recommend that. But ultimately, guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Like I said, Bitcoin is hanging on by a thread, but it is looking a little bit better. a little bit better than what we're seeing here. We're seeing today, for example, we're seeing this green candle, from the downside, whereas we're actually seeing a green candle wick from the bottom to the top, or a tail, as they call it. So technically today, Bitcoin's looking a little more bullish than stocks. Both of them still kind of in that, not quite out of the water just yet area. But that is my analysis for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful and beautiful and amazing day. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and make sure you follow me over on Twitter at @TheCryptoZombie. I'm verified, so you'll know it's me. And sometimes if I can't make it out to make a video or get on YouTube, I'll put something over there. Or I retweet a lot of stuff too, like really cool news articles and charts and stuff. Make sure you check that out. And also make sure that you check this video popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.